Hello, Internet! Welcome to the 2.5 Brains, a weekly Amazing Race recap. We're going to talk all about the latest episode, double episode of Amazing Race. So definitely subscribe so you get all the updates, you don't miss anything all season long of Amazing Race. We're going to have a programming update. We're going to have our post-mortem of Survivor Season 38, and yes, it is a post-mortem. We're talking all about it starting tomorrow, so if you're watching this, probably it's already been recorded. But definitely keep in touch with us for that. Definitely subscribe so you get all the updates. And you can follow me on Twitter, Yo Grabba Gabba. Like our page at Facebook, facebook.com/PaperMoreProductions, email the show, papermoreproductions@gmail.com, and you can definitely go ahead and send us some comments and feedback and let us know what you think. I want to try to get some feedback on the show from our listeners and our viewers. So definitely give us an update, give us a a comment, share the video, all those things. So we can get everybody feedback on the show, and we can get some of your questions. Not just us talking the whole time and our questions. Other than that, I think that's everything. I said subscribe, comment, email us, show, etc. So other than that, let's go ahead and bring on the co-host of the show, the one who's here all the time for most of the shows. Let's bring in Miss Jessica Tarasek. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
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 And so I get my Twitter handle is Yo Grab Again. What's yours?
Just T820 for
Just
now.
T820 for now, yes. And we're looking at maybe making a change to that eventually, but for now, that's what we got. Cool. So definitely excited. Subscribe to our show so you don't miss anything. And we're going to dive into the Amazing Race right now with our recap of this, I guess, this double episode. I guess it was episode 3 and 4, or 5 and 6, or whatever it was, 4 and 5. Whatever. Who cares? It's just numbers. Right. So two episodes. Hilarious, Jessica. What are you, 4? You're 4.
No, I'm 4.
Now you're 4. Great. Let's go ahead and bring in the other guest who's always here on Amazing Race talking all about the show. Let's bring Mr. Greg B back to the show.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening and welcome. I got you. We're good. We are experts here.
Yeah, other way. Nope, other way.
I'm doing it.
There you go.
Alright, so here. You guys slide in a little bit, and I will slide up a little bit.
Nope, it's all backwards.
Okay, so either way, before all this fiasco started, we are professionals here. We do a good job.
What, episode 5 and 6?
With a 5 and a 6-year-old. Yay!
Got another finger in the show here, but
It's,
I won't do that.
It's a family show, Jessica.
Yeah, I know.
It's a family show.
Just saying.
So, let's go ahead and dive into this. We're going to talk about, Jessica and I are going to talk about the post-mortem of Survivor, probably on Friday, so probably before over Labor Day weekend or Tuesday at the latest. We'll dive into it, talk all about it, and go from there. So definitely subscribe to the show so you don't miss anything. But let's go ahead and talk real quick about this week's episode of The Amazing Race. Well, that's what we're here to talk about now. What were your guys' initial thoughts? Mr. B, back, we'll start with you.
Glad it was a double. Hated the first. Hated that it was a non-elimination first episode, but was ultimately satisfied with the result in the second episode and the team that got eliminated.
Yeah, Team Dumb Blonde got knocked out. Yay!
They got the dumb blonde edit for sure.
For sure, and for good reason. I remember we were talking about it, earlier off the air that Russell Hanson season 19 has Dumbass Girl Alliance, and I was looking at the season, the two girls in the alliance here, the two Big Brother girls in the alliance, as the 4 of them, Alyssa and Rachel and Brittany and Janelle were definitely the Dumbass Girl Alliance. Hopefully, one half got knocked out, and this other half almost got knocked out, but we'll talk all about it, break it all down. So, let's talk about the episode. Yeah, I know, it's a scary face. What were your thoughts on the episode?
I liked it. I liked the detours. I liked the roadblocks. the same teams that you kind of figured were going to be in the top 5 or pretty much in the top, ahead of the pack. So, wasn't, I guess, unexpected. And yeah, there were definitely some dumb
decisions.
Dumb decisions, but dumb, very dumb.
For sure. So let's go ahead. We're going to kind of go through this kind of rapid fire here that with the episode. We're kind of going to combine them at least a little bit. We're going to talk about each detour and roadblock separately, and then kind of combine it all into one big wrap up at the end. So let's go ahead and start off with what was the first episode's roadblock, Jessica?
The Silent Rave.
Silent Rave. That was near the end.
Yeah.
What was the Silent Rave? Tell me about that.
I love that. That was so cool. Everybody wears their own headphones and listens to music, and they had to match people dancing on the floor to what the DJ was listening to up at the stage, and it was so cool. It was so interesting. But, I mean, it's definitely hard to do. You kind of have to know how people are going to move to, I guess, a song. It's kind of just like keep pulling people over there and just guess.
Yeah, I mean, they probably tell them to dance at least somewhat, so you kind of have some sort of idea what they're dancing to.
I mean, you can dance to the beat, but some people dance different ways, so
right.
you just kind of know how people are gonna.
Oh, we know people dance different ways. We just saw that about half hour ago.
That.
You guys should be here before we record and see all the craziness. We gotta get more guests in the studios and see all the craziness that happens beforehand.
You don't want to see.
No, you probably don't. Bunch of white people dancing, not good.
So no rhythm. No rhythm to the music.
So, by the way, I dance like Brett LaBelle dances. Okay, my winner pick.
Yeah.
Right. That's. I mean, and
I guess I've never seen him dance.
Well, no, but that's how. Like you're right. Obviously, with this.
That's how you'd imagine.
With the challenge this week, they read the clue, and Chris and Brett like, oh no. All right, another rhythm, challenge, which we don't have. What do you think about the?
It was a good one. You definitely had to go with the rhythm, and seems like they were picking people out of the crowd that were dancing based upon what they were doing. It was tough. It was easier for some teams than others. But definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, and Brett and Chris were in the lead until that point, and then they kind of ended up in it, a little bit lower in the pack. But they're good with brute strength, not so much rhythm, I guess. But what was the first episode's detour that came right before the roadblock?
The bungee jump or the egg hunt.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I want to be a dinosaur. I need that costume. I'll run around the neighborhood. I don't care.
So let's talk about it separately. Jessica, tell me about the detour of the dinosaur one. Mr. B-Mac, tell us about the bungee jumping one.
All right.
Tell about the detour.
Jurassic Park detour.
Jurassic Park. Woo! That's you.
I loved it because I love the costumes. Those things are hilarious. Everybody was funny. I think that detour is probably the easier one to do. Knowing what the other one is before knowing it, I think it would have taken more time, I guess. But you had to run around, find the 5 colored laid eggs, and put them in a nest, which is kind of hard for some people to know what a nest looks like versus putting all 5 eggs in a giant egg that's just sitting there and asking for a check.
Yeah.
There's nobody there. Yeah. Obviously, you're in the wrong spot.
Right.
But I loved that one. That was hilarious.
That was great. It was fun.
Just seeing everybody run. His head's getting in my way.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to run around the neighborhood in one of those. Hope you know that.
Sounds good.
You might have to bail me out of jail.
Well, it'll be one of those things where let's wait till we, meet our neighbors first. What's next?
The other detour was virtual reality bungee jumping. They had to go up to the tallest building in the world, around 100 plus stories, and they originally thought they had to bungee jump, but it turned out to be virtual reality, and they had to take a test at the end, which confused more people, which did hold some teams up, and you were and it was only one team at it, and it was only 1 or 2 teams at a time. Right. So if you got hung up on that, you were back of the line. I would have definitely done the egg hunt.
For sure, the egg hunt definitely. I mean, again though, it depends on, they didn't really tell what the challenge was. So if people thought they're bungee jumping and they're okay with it, go up there and just jump, then that's one thing. But
200 and what, or 300 and some feet, whatever, however tall it was.
It was 280 meters.
Yeah, no thanks. I would
800, 828.
Oh, that's what 828 meters.
yeah, we're thinking of the 272 steps.
Yes.
And the other thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not jumping. I would never freaking do that. So I would have went for the eggs no matter what.
Yeah.
But in the end, you still would have had to zip line.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
And that I've heard about that building. I know I went to the one in Detroit, which is the largest one in North America, and it's down this twice the size. So I was at the very top of that building, and it was just kind of scary to be all the way up there. So I can't imagine being one twice as high.
Yes.
It is in United Arab Emirates, right?
Dubai.
Yeah. So really neat, a really cool building, and it was a really neat city. It would be really cool to visit there at some point. But yeah, so that's where they ended up, and that was the detour. Again, you always kind of go for the more straight up one as opposed to but in this case, the one that ended up being more straight up was the egg finding one, which you wouldn't have thought would have been the case by looking at it initially.
Right.
But the teams who went for the eggs came out quicker usually.
I mean, honestly, it wasn't as hard as you kind of figured it was going to be. It seemed pretty straightforward where to find the eggs. There were just 5 of them.
I figured it was going to be a really huge park they have to search up and down.
Yeah, it didn't even look that bad, though.
It didn't at all.
Because all the lanes were color coded,
Right.
and it was like
it wasn't too bad.
the certain egg was right in the lane.
Yeah, for sure. So the teams who did the dinosaur egg hunt definitely did the best. And the other one had a test, and you had to remember. Then they didn't tell you what you got right, what you got wrong.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to just kind of keep doing it until you got it. But
Right.
anyways, let's move on to the second episode's roadblock.
The Rolex, not the watch.
Not the watch.
As we know, some people can't read. Some people just
Hashtag
do
read your
not
clue.
read. Always read.
That's
Don't run around.
And there seems to be at least 1 or 2 of those each season. Hashtag read your clue.
I mean, I think with any of them, all the titles aren't always straightforward, so you're going to have to at least read what you're supposed to do. Don't just read the title and assume.
so
You know what
stupid.
happens when you assume, right?
Oh, for sure. And it was just dumb. It was just
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah,
It made
so-
no sense. I mean, there's no way that they're only giving you that much information. Who wants a Rolex?
Once Rolex,
Yeah.
well, no.
I mean, it takes 10 seconds more to read the rest of it. It's stupid,
Right.
and you know the titles are deceptive.
And honestly, I mean, in the market that they're running around in, you're really probably not going to find that kind of thing there. It seemed like a farmer's market. It wasn't,
And they had watches to one stand, but it was
right,
still
it wasn't
like
Rolexes.
it was stupid. It was so dumb.
Very
And
dumb.
even one team said, "Oh, rolled eggs."
Yeah,
it went
exactly.
over his head.
Nick,
Right.
It's a joke.
Nick and
Yeah.
Vic.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So it was. I mean, it was a neat challenge. I had to make some food and all that, but it's just read a damn clue. We'll talk about more a little bit later, but it's just stupid.
I mean, I liked that one too.
it
It,
was
wasn't
cool.
hard. It was pretty straightforward. You just had to watch how they made it. It was pretty easy.
And then the while we're there, we can talk about the speed bump that Alyssa and Rachel got because they had
Oh, right. Yeah.
right. What was that all about? You guys remember what that was all about?
They had to do some laundry.
Yeah.
And they were pretty excited about it because they're moms. And at least they got it done before Brittany and Janelle.
That
Yeah.
part was kind of deceiving though when he was talking about it, like explaining it,
Yeah.
because he's like, "Good luck finding where to hang it." I mean, they had stuff all right there. They got it done quick and
Yeah.
just hung it right away, so it wasn't really that difficult.
And as we talked about too, it seems like the roadblocks or the speed bumps further along you get, the more difficult speed bumps are. The speed bumps are actually kind of just that. They're just kind of a speed bump. They just kind of slow you down for a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's not a.
Kind of get in the way.
I remember there was one when they started because back in the day they used to do it where if you got a spare for elimination they'd take all your money and all your possessions and you would just have to try to make it through the next leg with no money and no possessions,
I
which
think I remember that.
which
yeah.
was okay. They started doing speed bumps more recently, and I remember one of the first ones they did was you have to sit on this thing of this like ice, this chair made of ice for 10 minutes.
Ooh, that'd be bad for you guys.
It was definitely there definitely some shrinkage going on there. But at the same time, if you can do it, you're wearing long pants, you can do it. It's 10 minutes, you're done, as opposed to having to do an actual task.
Right.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where the roadblocks are kind of pointless. I'd rather see them do something else. But the show's better than it has been in a while.
Chris and Brett blew through theirs earlier in the season as well, making snowballs.
Yeah,
Right.
super dumb. I'd like to see them do something else eventually or again, but for now, it's fine. It's whatever. You can't complain too much. The show's better than it has been recently. So, What is the other detour? We'll get split up again. Jess, you can introduce it, and then you can talk about one. And
Other one, the salt fish or the stacking of wood.
yes, which one do you want to take? Which one do you want to take?
It doesn't matter.
Pick one.
You know.
All right, tell me about the salt one.
Okay, they had to salt and cure. They had to break down fish and salt it. Pull the debone it, pull the guts out, and cure fish to preserve it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And most teams did the other one, but Rachel and Alyssa did that one. They did pretty quick, which I was kind of surprised about.
Well, they also had experience with like taking and cleaning fish.
Yeah.
I think that one was the harder one to do
I do too.
because it's more of a skill. Not everybody knows how to do it. If you don't have experience with like fish and deboning and stuff, it's tedious. It's a pain in the butt. So I don't think I want to do that.
User has. It's a family show. It's not that family.
So it's a family show. So Bud, you poopy head,
You big dummy turd nugget.
you lit liquor.
Yes. Shut the front door.
What the French toast?
Yeah, exactly. What was the other one? Before we get too far off the freaking
You
rails.
poopy face.
Tomato nose.
Tomato nose kumquat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's next?
The stacking of the wood. That one was easier. It was also deceiving though for them because everybody was counting the bicycle that had wood on it, not knowing that they were going to need tons of it. So that you're better, pack as much as you could at one time, wrap it tightly, have balance of the bike, hold on to it, and then you had to stack it the proper way everybody else did, which was straightforward. It didn't seem like it was anything that specific. You had to have everything going in like a crisscross. One way goes one way, one goes the other way, and then you just had to get to
Giant Jenga.
basically. You just get to a certain height, and then you're done. And that everybody got through that pretty quick.
And the thing is with that one too, right? It was the deception part. What you said was that they were all looking at, okay, we got to stack this much onto the bike,
Yeah, we only need like 50 of them.
and then you got to the person. Can I have a check? And the person comes out with a stick this big, and they have like wait,
They
they
had to
have
get
much on there.
it
It's
to,
like,
Right.
they had to get it to the certain mark on the stick.
right.
Yeah.
So that was, but once they realized that part, the rest of it was pretty simple. I mean, they had who was it, Nick and Vic or Colin and Christy had the bike flip over a
They
little bit,
did.
whatever.
A lot
but-
of people did. The animals.
Yeah.
People.
The Afghanimals.
Afghanimals, thank you. I would say Gur animals, but that's a kid's thing, not that. So,
Those guys are not good
like,
things.
a lot of these people, they couldn't handle their wood.
No. Well, let's not go too far down that rabbit hole.
What did I say? I said they couldn't handle the wood.
I know. So let's just leave that there,
Alright.
and people can make their own connections. Yeah. All right. So which one would you guys have selected? Which one would you have selected between the fishing and the wood?
Probably, I would probably go with the fish because I'm not strong enough to haul that much wood.
Okay. What about you?
That's tough because it probably would go with the fish because I know how to do that stuff and cooking and everything, but the wood, the physical aspect, I just don't want to drop wood in the mud and apparently poop that was all over the ground and have to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's strenuous. It depends. It's harder. It's a lot more physical strength.
For me, it's easy. I would go with the wood every time. It was the more straightforward. I'm not smart or talented, so I want straightforward stuff. Okay, something I can just do instead of having to learn a skill. Instead of having to, if I can just manually labor it or just pick up and put down things as opposed to having to think. That'd be better.
I mean, you could have handled scrubbing scales off of
Yeah,
the
it's
fish.
scrubbing, deboning, and curing it in salt.
I mean,
split the task with your partner. You scrub
Yeah.
the fish, someone else does the other part.
it's
That's why
fine.
you have a partner.
But last time I was in the water on a boat, I almost lost my finger, Jessica. So I don't want to go fish right now. But
unfortunate.
yeah. So let's go ahead and move on then to the return of the head-to-head. I added that.
Okay, did you add it?
So what do you think about the head-to-head? Tell me about your thoughts about who wants to go first.
I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was, it wasn't hard. It's just whoever's fastest, and you gotta understand moving it. which way you're moving everything and have a plan, I guess, ahead of time.
And the partner will be able to shout to them a little bit what to do and how to do it.
I mean, I'm sure you get a couple minutes to look at it first.
Did you look at it?
And well, would you look at that and make a plan of how to move everything.
Right. What do you think?
And I like it too. I'm glad it's back. Phil said it's the first this season, so hopefully there's at least one or two more.
Hope so.
And it all depends on when you get there in positioning, because the team ahead of you would have had experience in a previous round or two, and it was all about making adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much they got through in the order that they arrived.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, that's basically how it went.
For sure, and that's one thing I noticed too. Right, it seemed like the first time the team did it, they were abysmal, and then the second time they're like, okay, got it now, and they were good.
Right.
It was really kind of odd how that happened.
Right.
One thing I'm interested in too, they said it's going to happen at some point this season. One of what's going to happen is the U-turn vote. They're going to do something that they've never done before. It's going to be a vote for the teams vote for who gets U-turned. That's one thing that I heard that it said in the preview that they're going to do. I'm interested to see when that's going to happen. That's going to be really cool too.
Sounds good.
And I love how they just keep reinventing themselves with new things. It's not anything. It's still the same game. It's still pretty simple, unlike some shows. But we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Let it go.
But
Let it go.
all right, Elsa. But yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the fact that they do the head-to-head thing. It's I don't want every time. Because it's kind of like, it gets to be too much.
That defeats the purpose of the race.
Exactly. But the good news is, too, it's a little bit of a, it's one of those things where, you can really change how the game is played a little bit, and you can add that little bit of intrigue at the end of an episode, which they, you can always use. What?
Well, would you look at it?
Oh, just look at it.
I'll look at it.
You gotta tell him to look at it. If you want to tell him to look at it, he would have looked at it.
The same thing with the cue card.
And look at the dog.
Card, the description, the roll-up.
Read the card.
Oh, would you look at it?
Read the card.
Look at it.
And in fact, don't just look at it.
Read it.
Oh, look at that dog. Look at that car. You read the damn clue.
Anyway.
For sure. So I thought that was cool. I was glad they brought that back. I hope they do it again. Not every week, but it was definitely neat. One thing I remember too late last season, I wonder if they're going to do it again. It was the partner swap. That was really fun too. That was I'd love to see that too. It would have been really cool if Alyssa and Rachel and Corinne and Eliza were around and they got swapped together. That would have been awesome.
Nah, I'm glad I don't have to watch that.
So, anyways, but you don't have to watch Rachel and Alyssa too much longer.
Yeah, I know.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. So let's go ahead to one of our favorite segments of the thing before we wrap up, and that is why Brittany and Janelle lost. We kind of already talked about it a little bit, but why did Brittany and Janelle lose, guys?
I don't know. They were such an amazing team. They deserved to win. They're an amazing team.
Amazing race.
Yeah.
Oh
Team.
my god,
Amazing
you're so
team.
annoying with
Amazing
that.
race team. Every time someone says amazing on the show, I say, because this is an amazing race.
Well, would you look at
Let's
it?
look at it. Why did Brittany and Janelle lose?
Because they sucked. Plain and simple.
Read.
Read your clue. Read the sign. It's right there.
Even
They
if-
definitely got the dumb blonde at it.
Didn't at one point someone was like, she's like, well, would you look at it? It says Rolex. No. And she kept running. I swear she looked at it.
Pointing to her wrist.
Yeah, watch. Watch. No.
I mean,
Oh, that's what it was. Well, if you would have looked at it.
right.
Oh my god, it's right there.
It's never that simple. It's always the title's always something catchy or whatever. It's not an actual. They don't describe what it is in the title ever.
Right.
Read the clue.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be anything else to it.
Find a Rolex. I mean, what the hell? What was she thinking though?
Who wants a Rolex? Oh, I do.
So-
Not what you're looking for.
So you have to go get a Rolex, and that's this whole thing.
Right.
You don't find a
It's
Rolex.
never that easy.
Like, it's stupid. It's dumb. Again, the Big Brother's not used to, I guess, having to have a brain to win Big Brother. No offense, Nicole. Or Rachel. Definitely Rachel.
Shut up, Nick.
Definitely
Great.
Rachel. But it's one of those things where for me,
Fun.
yeah, it's supposed to be fun and good. Ugh, shut up.
You do that too
Shut
well.
up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you do.
Amazing Race is supposed to be fun and good. I don't know. Why did they lose?
I'm a mother. This is supposed to be empowering women.
Sure.
All right, let's calm down a little bit.
So, anyways, so let's wrap up real quick. Why did Brittany and Janelle lose? I mean, in a nutshell.
Not strong players didn't do well with most tests.
They were at the bottom of the pack most of the time.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where they just, I mean, more than just this episode though. They had issues with reading their clues.
Yeah,
They had issues
couldn't do
with
the bike thing right away. The bike took them a while too. I can't even remember. It wasn't as memorable.
They weren't memorable. They weren't memorable at all. And they just didn't. They struggled reading their clues. They just made bad decisions. They were kind of. I'm surprised they made it as far as they did. They were definitely a dodo team.
And the only thing that didn't happen in their favor that was out of their control was the little taxi thing that happened.
Sure.
They were stuck, but it's part of the race.
It's part of the race.
They're not the only ones that got stuck.
Right, and that can kill a team. It certainly can. But good teams overcome that.
Sure.
And and even sometimes, that takes out a good team, but it's rare that a team, gets not taken out strictly because of a taxi. They were behind, and they were, I guess, just rushing, not paying attention, but that was just dumb.
I mean, if the whole Rolex thing didn't happen, if she got to it quickly, they could have, stayed in.
Absolutely, they would have made up for
They
it.
had a chance.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Right.
Why did Brittany and Jenna lose? Just simple not paying attention and making bad decisions. Just that's it. And they weren't a strong team. They didn't. If you make bad decisions, you better be. It's the old saying: if you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough.
Right.
And they're neither. They're dumb and they're not good at challenges. So they're dumb. They don't pay attention. They don't read their clues, and they're not good at challenges enough to make up for it. So, in conclusion, if you're gonna make bad decisions, you're gonna get bad luck. You're not gonna read your clue. You better be really good at challenges. And if you're not really good at challenges, then you have to run basically a flawless race and not make mistakes if you're not going to be good at challenges. They weren't good at challenges, they made a lot of mistakes, and that's why Brittany and Janelle lost. For sure. Let's go ahead and wrap up with our other favorite segment, which is the Power Rankings. And let's go ahead and start with the bottom. And anybody have any guess? You didn't even see this. Who's going to be in the bottom?
Rachel and Alyssa.
Wow, Nostradamus.
Thank you.
Who's out next?
Who's going to be going next?
Yeah,
Rachel and Alyssa.
Rachel and Alyssa. Why is Rachel and Alyssa at the bottom spot right now, guys?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The Amazing Race is supposed to be fun and
Amazing
good.
Race be fun and good.
It is fun and good. Shut up. Will you just shut up? Stop talking. She never stopped talking.
She doesn't ever stop talking.
No.
You might know
I
that.
played twice with my
I'm
husband.
used to that.
You played twice with your husband, yeah. And he carried you both times. Isn't that funny? So, I don't know. They're just a disaster. But, like I said, I kind of didn't want Brittany and Janelle to go either because I love the train wrecks on Survivor. Or on Amazing Race. I love it. I love when they're idiots. That's why I wanted Rupert to stay for 6 episodes because he was a friggin' idiot too. And I wanted the idiots to stay around as long as possible because they're always just fun to watch and make fun of.
Right.
The problem is recently those idiots have been winning.
I mean, they stayed in. I still don't know if they made the right choice because they were going to do the eggs and decided to even go to do the bungee jump. So
And they. I mean, how many times? I mean,
they had to do it 7 times maybe, or 4 or 5.
Yeah,
they
because
did
5
it
or
a bunch
6.
because they were arguing about
if the door opened or what? Opener.
yeah, which
In
one?
or-
I always forget.
in or
who's
out,
who.
in or
Rachel
out.
is Rachel the one, the fun and good one, or is that
Yeah,
Alyssa?
Rachel.
Rachel's
Rachel.
like, get it right, and the other one's the one that actually had the answers right, and Rachel didn't. It's like,
Yeah.
are you kidding?
Yeah. So they're
It's dumb.
just I don't see them last much longer. But then again, Rachel's never been eliminated from Amazing Race. She's been last a couple times, but has never been eliminated, and she went to the end twice. So
I mean,
I don't see it for them.
it's between them or another team I could see going next. Unfortunately,
Is it
for
the
you.
next team
Yes.
on our power ranking?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about who's next on our power ranking. Team number 6.
Brett and Chris.
Brett and Chris.
I could see them maybe going next too. They've gotten a lot stronger, but they're not strong at certain I don't know if you want to say modern challenges like the music and dancing or singing or anything that's not manly stuff.
Well, and the thing is, too, Brett sings. Brett does open mic nights. He's a performer.
Yeah.
So
I guess
it's
a little different.
but he just doesn't have beat. He just doesn't have rhythm.
No rhythm.
doesn't mean he's good if he does karaoke
Right,
stuff.
and
but-
he's an entertainer, but it's and then Chris is definitely
Seems
a
like
monster.
they're showing their age when they do those types of challenges.
Yeah.
Well, they are Gen Xers, as we know from Survivor. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've been doing well.
Yeah.
They've been
gotten a lot better.
They've gotten better. They've finished in the top 5. Top 3 even I think once.
I think it was 4. was it 3? 4 or 3? Something.
Either way,
Yeah.
they were they were at the top of the pack last until Brett messed up the rhythm thing. I think they can win a leg. I don't think they can win the race.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel, and that's why they have to be here. I don't know if they're gonna go next. They might go to the finals and lose. That's absolutely something I can see happening.
Could.
But
There's a lot more stronger teams.
correct, and that's my point. And I think they could, somebody can mess up and they can Tyler and Corey could have an abysmal leg and lose. Or who fun team, whoever, anybody.
Right.
Anybody can have a horrible leg and lose. Brett and Chris might not do that. They might skate by a little bit further, but are they gonna win? I doubt it. I'd love it. I like both of them a lot, but
I don't see them making it to the final 3.
I don't either. But like I said, if they do, they're gonna be that team who gets there and just gets to run over.
Yeah.
So, but who unfortunately I like them. But who's Team 5? Who do you have for Team 5?
The Afghanimals.
The Afghanimals. Yeah, and they won the first 2 legs.
Animals.
They won the first 2 legs of the race.
They did, but that's where they peaked. They lost all
peaked
stamina.
too early.
Oh, I
They did
remember
peak
that
too
now.
early. It's a problem.
Peaked too early.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been finishing in the back. How long did it take them to do that bungee jumping thing?
It took them forever because they couldn't figure out, okay, how many antennas, and then they went to the satellites and how many spokes were on the satellite, and then it's no, they're not even talking. It doesn't say satellite. It says antenna on the receptor or something.
Receiver, yeah.
Yeah, it was
receiver.
antenna on the
Yeah.
receptor.
Yeah, there's 4.
There's
No,
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. They got everything else right, and then they kept doing it and screwing stuff up. I don't know. You just have to really be aware of what you're looking at.
And one thing I was wanting to, I think even Rachel and Alyssa eventually did it. Said, "What'd you do for this? What'd you do for this? What'd you do for this?"
Yeah, you talk about it.
And they said, "Oh, I got this. Okay, well, I think it was this. Okay."
They did that though, and that's when they started debating, and then.
And then they got even worse.
I mean, the best thing to do would be, okay, they have everything the same except for the last one. Well, the next one, both pick the same one that you had listed and go with it.
Right.
I think it's unacceptable, or that after knowing what the questions were, you didn't get it on the second try. That's
Sure.
just stupid. How can you just be that dumb?
I mean, you know what to look for. And again, maybe whatever.
They were going down the elevator, and one of them goes, "I had all those answers right from the beginning." Well, why didn't you review that with your partner before he takes the test again?
Right. It was stupid, and it's something that if they're going to let you talk about it, you might as well.
Yeah.
Talk about it, figure it out, do it. Know what you did right, know what you did wrong, and then
Every time we
make
talked about it, they just changed it about something else.
And they
They're
argued
like,
about
oh,
it.
this, it's that.
And they've played 3 times at this point. Right, this is the 3rd time playing. They should know better.
Yeah.
And what also is they are doing Leo and Jamal things.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing Afghanimal things. They are doing the things that cost them the race both the previous times.
Yeah.
They get into a situation. One things they have it, the other things they have it, and then they argue about it instead of actually coming to an agreement and talking about it and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
They butt heads and no, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, and they just don't.
I mean, they're family too. It's probably a lot harder
They're
to do
cousins,
with
so yeah.
family.
For sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's why they lost twice,
Right.
and that's why they're on the pace to lose again.
Right.
Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll. But they start off so strong, and now they're back to doing Afghanimal things that they did before.
Per animals.
Yes. Who is number 4 on the power ranking?
Team Fun.
Team Fun. Yeah, I got Team
Fun.
Fun here. Team Fun did win a leg. And they again, I really feel anybody in the top 5 could in theory win. Some are pulling better than others, but there's always there's always that one team. Like if you remember, what was it? Olive and that. Oh, I don't know. It was the firefighter and the cop from the Random Stranger season, where they had they won the first 3 legs, or they finished top 2 in the first 3 legs. And before they bounced out, they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like a U-turn knocked them out, and they lost. So there's gonna be something like that where one of these teams is gonna get bounced. That team I thought was gonna crush it. That team I thought they were and then there was the boys that season, right, with the guy with the war veteran who lost his leg. That team was crushing it too, and something fluky happened, knocked them out. There's always something that happens every season. A really top team, something happens and they get knocked out earlier than you expect. So that could happen to one of these teams, and that would move someone else up in the power rankings, obviously. But Team Fun has a lot going for them. They are good at a lot of tasks. It's to me, they are the anti-Brett and Chris. Anyone else feeling that or no? Like, to the fact that, like, everything Brett and Chris are good at, these guys are terrible at. Everything Brett and Chris are terrible at, these guys are good at. Like, the singing, the music, the dancing, all that stuff. Whereas, like I said, last week when Chris basically picked up that guy and threw him across the ocean, on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas these guys, hip hop dance, singing, beats, they're all,
Yeah, but I don't really, to me, I don't think Team Fun is bad at anything. It's just unfortunate things that happen. Because, I'm looking back at, the notes, what the stuff was. They really didn't do bad at the egg hunt. The egg hunt's just, luck finding it on time. And then they did the wood stacking, and that was just about, they dropped their bike. They dropped their bike, too. That's just about timing and,
They have bad luck on bikes in this.
Yeah, they do.
But I don't really think they struggled that badly with anything. And the silent disco, I think they did really well. It was the first one or within the first couple. I just think they get a lot of bad breaks or bad taxi drivers. They get stuck, like the elephant one, which was out of everybody's control. They had a hard time with that.
And that's kind of stuff too. Is you have to,
and they get a little hung up to back to your point with on the opposite of Brett and Chris. I mean, riding the bike. The first time they were on Floyd with the heat exhaustion, and then they dropped the bike. But a couple other teams dropped the bike, and
the way I feel like they have
more of a strength with the other stuff. Yeah.
Correct, and they're not physically as big as some of the teams are strong as some of the teams.
Yeah, it's not that they're bad at with the wood thing. They don't have the strength, but it's not that they're bad at it. It just takes them a little longer.
And I feel like they're one of those teams that doesn't usually win. They're always fun. They always go far, and you always root for them. They fall a little short, but they have a good. They said remember the first episode they said, and now we're dating. No, we're just kidding. But in a weird way, they almost feel like they should because they complement each other so well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see it.
No.
I don't see the physical attraction there, but they complement each other really well, and that's one thing I say about this team. They never.
They're not rattled.
Right.
Yeah.
They never sweat.
They don't get rattled by anything.
Great team. They joke about everything. Everything's fun. Team fun. I like watching them because everything's just. They make it enjoyable. I had never seen any frustration, maybe the elephant slightly, but besides that, I never saw anybody get mad on that team at all.
I mean, they were rapping with Phil at the finish line.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. And as I said, there's I agree. There's not really anything they're bad at. There's certain things that that will take a little bit longer than other things, right?
Yeah.
And the one thing I'll say, they don't ever argue.
No.
They have that good rapport, and they don't. And like you said, they don't get rattled because they don't sweat it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't Leo and Jamal will argue with each other until one of them wins. These guys, Becca and Floyd, they're like,
right. Just keep going.
Keep going.
Just
Nobody
keep doing it.
And I think that's a real good strength to have. I mean, the teams who fight, Leo and Jamal haven't won because they fight too much. The teams who don't fight often are the ones who win. Sometimes that's not the case.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you dancers from Tyler and Corey's season. But, overall, the teams who don't fight usually do best. And that's typical in most things. Relationships and otherwise. So let's go ahead and talk about Team 3.
Team 3. Nick and Vic.
Nick and Vic.
We
got Nick and Vic here. Your winner pick.
Yes. They're very consistent. They're strong.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten, they should have gotten first.
A couple times.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been very close a couple times, and they finished a little bit short this time, but the reason... Go ahead.
I would say I also think they complement each other well. They don't really fight. There's tension sometimes, I guess. There are some, it does happen, especially they're in a couple, they're in a relationship, but I think that they both complement each other well, and they're able to work through things together fine. Even I was surprised with Nick doing the silent rave. She did pretty well. I mean, I think it was her first one that she picked that she got it, so I don't know. I could see them going pretty far.
What do you think?
I definitely agree, and like we said a couple weeks earlier with any 5 of these teams, you could pick your probably going to get a different order any week.
Right.
And they're very evenly matched. I'm of the three of us. I'm definitely the lowest on Nick and Vic, only because. They're your runner pick. No, only because. They are the typical team who I've seen again. They are the typical team, and and the thing is, this team has been winning often, but they're the typical team that gets by every week. They're like they're third place, second place, fourth place. They're close to the bottom. Usually, more often, they're one of the top teams, but they're never number one. And that team often gets to the end because, like, for example, even though they did win some legs, the Olympians last season, they were probably the best team overall. They had the highest placement rate. They never finished outside the top three, and then the last leg they finished third.
Right.
And they won a few legs too. This team reminds me of a lot of teams who are like the Beekman boys, like the teams who are kind of like they're still there. How are they still there when you get on the end? Because they haven't been blowing anybody away, but they're not bad. They're good. But they just aren't. They're not like winning leg after leg after leg. They're not the dominant team every season. That's like every leg. You're like, oh my god, they're gonna win every leg. But they are still at the end, and you're like, oh okay, well I can see why they're there, but they haven't crushed it. That being said, the Beacon Boys won. The meteorologist and news anchor, whatever they were, I forget their names now, from Kelsey and Gary, whatever their name was, a couple of seasons ago. They won. They're that team too. They're that team like oh, they're still there. They didn't win any legs, but they're still even like the team Lolos. Remember the Lolos?
Right.
They were never in charge. They were never winning the leg, but they're always just still there. And they were never bad. They were never out of it. They were never in last place or second last.
You don't
even.
have to be though. You just don't have to be
Right.
last.
You just have to survive.
Don't want to be last. You don't have to be the fastest one, but you got to be
Not the
faster
slowest.
than the slowest person.
And I'm kind of waiting for them to explode a little bit because they are dating, but they've definitely surprised me. I've grown to like this team, and if not Team Fun, I'm pulling for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I think they have a great shot to win. My only concern is, you said, if you told me pick of the 5 teams who has the best odds of getting to the end, and pick the 5 teams who has the best odds of winning, I think they have a great shot of getting to the end. I wouldn't say they're the best shot of winning because they haven't proved they can win yet. That's all I'm saying.
I disagree. I don't want to talk about it too long though, because we're already getting long.
Okay.
I just think that it's not like Survivor though. You don't have to have a resume to
No,
win
you
this.
don't.
You just
No,
have
you
to
don't.
actually
Be there, yeah.
physically
Be there.
win
Yeah.
this.
Absolutely.
So if they get to the, if they get to the 3, they have a good chance of
Of
winning.
course.
it. So-
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And that has been the trend for recent seasons. That
Right.
you get to the end, all you gotta do is get to the end.
I
and-
mean, last year's winner with the Big Brother people that I absolutely adored.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I didn't see them winning it, so
Eh,
No.
they ended up winning.
And it's been that way again for recently. The last few seasons have been a lot of those teams have won. It's like, how did they win? But I feel like Nick and Vic have a great shot at the end. They just need to show that they can win that one. They can get over that hump and not, instead of being second or third, they can, run that leg that gets them a win.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can show that they can do that once or twice, then I would say they have a great shot. But right now they're kind of hovering. I have them on the power rankings just because they've been second, third, fourth. They haven't won a leg yet.
But they've been second like 3 or 4 times
Absolutely.
out
Yeah,
of this whole
second
season.
3
So
times,
So-
and
Is that where they belong, or can they
No.
overcome it?
they can overcome it. They've already almost been.
We'll see.
It's been
Almost.
with taxi drivers and stuff though. It's kind of difficult. People race each other. You can't control that stuff.
Absolutely.
And if you fall for the freaking Garanimals freaking lies,
Granimals.
that's what I'm gonna call them now. Is Garanimals. I'm sorry.
Um,
I mean that happened too. They fell for what Vic fell for what she
Nick.
or Nick.
Yeah.
Nick or Vic. Nicole
yeah.
fell for their lie, so they could have been first with that one.
And
too.
that's kind of my point though. Is I don't know if they had that killer instinct that like, hey, screw everybody else. I don't know if they have that like next level that they. I think they can get there. I think they can get the next level, but the question is, will they run out of track on the race for league?
All right, next.
Anyways, who's number 2?
Tyler and Corey.
Tyler and Corey are here, and honestly, they could be higher too. Honestly, they could be number 1. They are a really good team. There's a lot that they're good at. They are consistent. they've won, I think, one leg, which was the last.
The last one. Yeah.
Last one.
And they've been again right around it too. If you told me, pick a winner of this group, I wouldn't be shocked if it was them.
Right.
They have a good shot of winning it. Comments, questions, concerns about that?
No, they're a strong team. They're gonna go far.
I agree. There's not much else to say. They're in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
And number one on power rankings again is who?
Colin and Christy.
Colin and Christy. And they won a leg again. They've been, again, right near the top every single time. They have won legs. Mm-hmm. And they're just so much different than the first
They
time.
won legs? I thought they had won legs.
Well, that reminds me of that's a good joke because was it 2 seasons ago when the guy who had the one leg?
He won a leg, right?
No, he did, but then he got the second leg of the season. They finished like second, and Phil he goes, "Oh man, Phil, I was really hoping you'd say we won a second leg." I was like, "Where? You won the second leg." I was like, "Yeah, where is it?"
Literally at it.
That's a good joke, Jessica. Very good.
Thank you. I know. I'm funny.
You're funny. she's cute, and funny. Send her tweets.
I'm funny.
So other than that, Colin and Christy, they're so much different than in season 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they even talk about it. Like season 5, I've been throwing stuff and cursing, and now there's like Zen and like, hey, whatever. I think they're strong enough to win, but they also are very chill, and that is a good. They are to me. They're a tiny step above Team Fun, and that's why I have them here. Team Fun, I think, has that. They just don't quite have the skill set, whereas this team has the skill set. They have the experience, and they are chill like Becca and Floyd. I think if Becca and Floyd had 5 more years of life experience each, they would win this thing easily.
A little more meditation, and
And that's something Colin even talks about. He's like, the Colin of season 5 would have been kicking and screaming and getting all pissed off, and they're just all zen and chill, and that definitely helps them out.
Absolutely.
I think we can all learn a lot from them.
I do
Meditate.
That's right.
Calm. That's how I need to start doing.
For sure. And don't sweat it. Do what you can do and do a good job with it. But at the end of the day, all you can do is the best you can do, and you can't worry about everybody else.
Right.
And that's a good spot to leave off. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's a good spot.
I think that's a good little motivational message for everybody. So other than that, though, definitely subscribe to our show so you get all the updates. Survivor post-mortem is coming soon. We're going to talk about season 39, maybe a little bit of season 40 coming up because we know a little about that too. Definitely, again, subscribe so you get all the updates. Tweet at me at YoGrabAGabba. Facebook.com/PayMoreProductions. PayMoreProductions@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. We have some updates coming up too soon, I think. We're probably going to make our announcement in the next couple weeks.
Sure.
Sweet. I'm not sure about next week, if next week's Amazing Race is a double episode or a single episode. I hope they kind of do some single ones because I hate when they rush through seasons. But if it's double, we'll be fine. We'll cover it. We'll be good.
I think it might be a single.
We'll find out. We'll find out soon or next Wednesday for all we know. Other than that, again, comment, email the show, get us your feedback. I want to hear from you, the listener and the viewer. Jessica, how can you contact you? Contact you.
Me, Just T820.
Just T820. And be back. You're not on any social media, are you?
No, I'm not.
Good for you. You're a smart man.
Yeah.
Very smart man.
I don't have time for that shit.
Good for you. Smart man. Other than that, subscribe, let us know what you think, and definitely check back next week. Hopefully all 3 of us can be back next week. That's the plan, I think. We'll see. Hopefully. We have a lot to do. We'll hopefully get it a good schedule. We can record at the same time every week. But until next week, I think that's it. All right. That's it. Safe travels.